Welcome to today's introspection video. Yesterday, I played in the first week of the Master Circuit series. I started the first half of Swiss undefeated until I played my 5th game, which was the featured match of the round. As you know from the title, and in the words of MBT,
this is going to be a disaster for Meep Squared.
I will show the live commentary of the match, but first let me explain some of the choices I made in deck building. Originally, I wanted to bring my branded Dynamorphia deck, but then 3 hours before final deck submission, I changed about 15 cards ending in this pure branded version. I was worried that the Dynamorphia cards actively reducing my life points would be terrible due to the tournament time limit rules, and my opponent could just potentially slow play. I ended in 39th place out of the 268 with a 5-3 record. I lost this duel to I Wish I Was Dead, who ended up in 3rd place. I lost my next duel to a branded mirror match due to time to Grey Valentine, who ended up in 2nd place. It took a while for me to get over my misplay from the feature match, but I suppose if I were going to lose, I'm glad it was against the top players. The decks I was prepared for were Runix, Branded, Sword Soul, and Mathmech. Amazingly, in 8 games, I never saw Maxi, Valor, or Nibiru. I did see Ash and Bell once each. Now, Cursed Seal of the Forbidden Spell. In the Konami-sponsored European tournament called the Challenger Cup, I saw a ton of people playing Runix. This time, there were only 6 people who brought Runic. I should have pretended that it didn't exist. On my final game, I was able to hit my opponent's branded fusion, delivering a critical strike to their branded deck. As for summon limit, many of the decks that were used were monster focused, so I flipped it against Sword Soul and easily won. Now let's talk about the Mathmech Cybers matchup. Aside from the Ghost Battles to summon limits, I have Earth Golem Adagnister, but uses 1 Cybers monster and 1 Link monster. Almerduk uses 3 Link monsters, so I could deal with the usual Mathmech end board of Wicked, IP, Lingaribo, and a Setsu Perfectorial. I removed Staving Venom Dragon because I wasn't expecting someone to bring Mathmech Adagnister. I will never make this mistake ever again. I treated this as if it was a regular Master Duel ladder match and got super punished for it. At least there are 15 more tournaments to join. Overall, this was my very first Yu-Gi-Oh tournament and it was a positive learning experience. In the feature match, I felt like I only made one mistake, but it cost me the whole duel. For now, enjoy MBT's and Danny's commentary, and I'll briefly explain what my thought process was that led me to make that mistake when it comes up in the duel.
Hello everybody and welcome back to round 5 of the Master Circuit series. I am joined once again by the one, the only, the immaculate, the immeasurable, the incomparable Luke Von Karma. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm having a blast. I hope you're also having a blast. Every single match we've watched has been so fun. How are you?
I'm doing well, and I'm ready to break the streak because we have 2 individuals today that you might recognize from the channel. I Wish I Was Dead is undefeated.
Oh, who do we got here?
I Wish I Was Dead was undefeated, and it's gonna be a pretty normal matchup. We've got I Wish I Was Dead on Adagnister and Meep Squared on Branded, and it looks like I Wish I Was Dead has won the die roll.
Wow.
Very important
Undefeated.
here.
Wow. Incredible.
All right, so we're beginning with Amogus Adagnister. That's my funny joke that you've never heard before.
Thank you. You know, that's why I'm here. I'm here to laugh at those jokes. That was incredible. Let's keep it up.
After that, we have the Literal Child Dark Infant Adagnister. It's really shocking. I don't think I could have designed a card this pushed for an archetype. It searches the card that is actually the deck's choke point in Ignister Island. It moves itself, so Dark Templar Adagnister is actually good. Clears the main monster zone, so you can actually summon monsters. And it's a Link 1.
Yeah, you know, speaking of the Puppet Master himself, I Wish I Was Dead, for our playoff series, you know, we found a lot of these Adagnisters art, you know, when they were released, just had no Link 1, and it felt so much like, how do you play these cards? How do you do this?
Old combos were very much 2-carders, not so much anymore. I got to compliment the man's choice of mate. You don't see Monolith often, and that's because it's very boring. I'm clicking on it right now. Can you see the...
It just
jumps like
little,
a third of
it doesn't do much.
He's got like a 2-inch vert.
Making the Splash Mage here. Royal Splash Mage.
Ooh,
Love that.
Beautiful, beautiful card.
Beautiful.
Yeah, when it comes to Royals, that's a great one because it's playable and everything. So one thing that Circular did outside of make Mathmech playable is make a lot of these archetypes, Cyberse archetypes, that would appreciate the ability to activate Circular a lot stronger. Here we're going to be able to use Baru to send a Doyon to the graveyard, then Splash Mage to bring back the Doyon. That Doyon's a 4, and the Baruru's a 3. So if we want, we can now perform a Synchro Summon of Wind Pegasus at Insuster.
Yep, that is true. That is exactly what's going to happen here. We're going to see that Synchro come up and actually be used for its intended purposes.
Instead of
Most
just
of the time
sent to the
right,
graveyard off
straight
of
to
something like a
graveyard by
punishment.
like a dogmatic punishment or something. Exactly.
All right, we're going to go get that Doyon activation here. The negation does not apply in the graveyard, so, you know, there you go. Baruru will summon it back, then we'll activate the effect on field. Cycle that at Chi-Chi, and theoretically we could do it next turn.
That is true. That's true. I'm wondering, like, I'm kind of trying to think through these kinds of lines for the Ignister player, and I'm wondering if, like, it feels like they can't do this, but, like, have 2 Ignisters on board that are 4s to make the Alum version so you can go get Circular.
Oh, well, I'll just explain what's going to happen. So Dark Templar at Ignister comes out here. We're able to cycle a monster onto the field, either by Islander, activating one of our many spells that just specials a guy for free. And after that, we can use the monster that we summoned. I hope we don't have to use the Achichi. We are using the Achichi.
Looks like we do.
We can use this to go into the Dark Infant at Ignister, which can change its attribute and move over. So we'll call Divine on this card, you know, an attribute that otherwise wouldn't be represented as part of an end board. And we'll activate the effect of Dark Templar at Ignister to summon 3 Adignisters, and this will get us, I think, 5 different attributes.
Yeah, that sounds about right. We're going to move the infant. It's going to be a divine type here.
I just love that they let you do that. This is so silly.
It's awesome. It's great. Okay, there's the Baruru. And the Doyon. One more.
Ikari.
And the Bakari.
So this is a little interesting. You can make a 4 here for free, but you really don't want to.
Oh, yep. And there it is.
There's 2 4s, baby. What do you think that's going to make?
Okay, boom. That's how they do it. Wow, I'm learning in real time.
The best part is that Primathmech Alum version is an Earth. So...
Oh, wow. That's so good for this.
This is a format here with Circular as the follow-up. So you can make a format and set a super factorial. I mean, how nice is that?
Huge. That's huge. So we can go circular. We're gonna probably dump.
Now, if we want to get really greedy, if we have a reborn spell or an equation, theoretically, oh my god, he might actually do it. Alum Burschen here.
Okay.
Reborn the addition which we sent, which is fire, will trigger the circular.
Subtraction.
If we grab an equation, or we have it in our hand already, we can bring back the Alum Burschen and make a 6-mat Arrival Cyber Sagnister. I am pretty sure that Branded just does not have an out to that. But I guess we're going to find out. This is 6 different typings on our field.
Wow. Light, Divine, Wind, Fire, Dark, Earth.
He's coming.
And I noticed that did we activate Circular on board?
We didn't. The only target he's playing is the equation, and we drew it.
Oh,
boom!
wow.
So that's my whole turn.
No super
I'm not doing
factorial,
anything else.
Well, that is much more difficult than the 4,000 attack one we saw prior.
4001 is outable by Titanclad. Oh!
And let's see if they have a response here.
I mean, even if you negate it. Anyway, the 4K can be outed by like an access code talker if he's making it blind. It can be outed by like a big Titanclad. The 6K can be outed by very little.
Yeah, there's not a lot that can do this. It's funny. A lot of ladder decks, because you never know what you go up against again. In ladder, so you kind of want a tool to beat a lot. And one of those things is giant towers like this. So, I mean, Goddess is an option as well to get rid of this guy, but we'll see what happens.
Unfortunately, we know that Meep Squared is unbranded, and that deck does not have.
They're unbranded. Okay,
It does not have a lot of room in its extra deck. There's some stuff that maybe makes it easier. Titanclad, of course, is the big one. Starving Venom theoretically could out it.
Yeah, that is. If they do have access to that one, that is a pretty decent one, because that card can get out of hand with attack.
Chat saying Mirror Jade doesn't target. Very true. Unfortunately. Like, a lot of the cards that out this are just very powerful Link Force, and it can't do that. Oh, come on. You don't need... They're under Maxi. Draw some cards, my friend.
Incredible. They saved?
Wow.
So we did have called by. We saved it.
Cute.
Okay. So they said, yeah, no, I would rather let Maxi resolve. Interesting. It's an interesting choice. They said, I need to protect this branded fusion. Without this branded fusion, I can't make the plays.
Well, I'm interested to see what the plays are now.
Yeah. No, me too.
Chat has correctly pointed out there is no Danmari at Ignister as part of this setup. So we don't have just the wet negate.
What'd you call
Rebellion.
it?
The wet negate. He's a little wet.
The wet negate? Why is it wet?
He's wet.
You know what?
Oh!
Forget I asked. Whoa! We pitched Cursed Seal of the Forbidden Spell.
Wow, that would have gone crazy against Island, I'll tell you that.
That would have been pretty good against Island.
I wonder what that's for. Runic?
It has to be Runic. And coincidentally also gets a couple other decks, but...
I will say there's not much Runic in this tournament, but, like, I understand. You know, sometimes you're on ladder and you're like, even if it damages my other win rates, I'm never losing to this again. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. A classic, like, pride moment. You know, it's like, I might lose a little more by adding triple Cosmic, but I don't care.
That's literally what I do. I just jam Cosmics in my deck like it's my job.
All right, I'm gonna do Lubellion here. I wonder what they're gonna go for. I guess you can do Mirror Jade just so that you can start, plussing off of Albion and such. But still don't know how he out this giant guy.
He's a big boy.
Yep. There's the Mirror Jade.
There he is. So here's kind of the weakness of Ignister is they don't do much outside of this. Like, they make the Arrival Cybers super easily. They can make them as big as they want. But after that, they're just kind of chilling.
Yeah, because I always was like confused as to without Maxi obviously drawing us a couple cards here, we can maybe make a play with like the token we get off of the Arrival, and then maybe make like something else there and go for like a access code. But without the follow-up, it's a lot harder.
Yeah, and that's one thing that, like, Circular very much helps, but we've already been through the line. Like, we spent the Circular line not making access code, but getting to a much bigger Arrival Cybers. Not that that's necessarily wrong, but it's a choice.
Right. And this is so interesting. I Wish I Was Dead is not on the Super Factorial, right? You told me?
Yeah.
And that's such an interesting choice to make. It's really just, I just want the extenders. It
depends on what you're using Circular for. Like, if you're making a format access or Arrival Cybers at Ignister, you want to follow it up with a Super Factorial, that's one thing. But if you want Circular as potentially 3 different typings for a larger Arrival Cybers, well, there's no reason to play anything outside of the equation. You don't want to brick on MathMech when you could be playing, like, more Chi-Chi.
Yeah. No, makes sense. And it's awesome follow-up, because if you do Circular there, now that's like also combo to make, the update jammer and access code or any which way.
All right.
Okay, yeah, there's the Mirror Jade. We
can
go
still select the Arrival Cybers at Ignister. It just won't get banished.
Yep.
So we do get to keep the Aluber around. We might want to banish the Aluber because it's like damage.
Yeah, like that is kind of horrifying damage you don't want to see from the because that's the one way you could not like continue this game. You want to continue it and try and find an out to this guy, and putting stuff in attack is really rough.
I think you're fine anyway though. Like just having the branded in red means that like worst case scenario you just target a guy and fuse him off.
Right, completely.
Chat's asking how much time in round. Well, it's turn 2. I should hope there's still a lot remaining.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Actually, there's 15 minutes.
Okay. I mean, this has been a bit of a slugger.
The 7-minute combo. Oh, we went for the Luber here.
Okay, we are banishing the Aluber. I mean, it's like I actually do like keeping the Aluber. I love its second effect, where it comes back and negates monsters.
Yeah.
If your fusion monsters leaves the field by a card effect or it gets destroyed. Mm-hmm. It's an interaction you definitely have to think about. All right.
Okay.
Mirror Jade, pass.
So we know the.
So we already know the branded in red from the Aluber.
I imagine.
So what do you think we get off these
expulsion or banishment or something?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And that's maybe a scenario where we can walk out of this. We just put guys in defense for 15 minutes. Because I Wish I Was Dead took 23 as part of the setup combo. Like that's the only out I can really see.
Yeah.
But if I Wish I Was Dead is ever able to simplify this board state, it just becomes so comically easy.
Right. Okay. There's the set. You were right. Set banishment there. Man, I really cannot think of a way that Meep Squared can out this Arrival Cybers.
Can we see the Harpy's Feather Duster, please? No, we're just playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
No.
It's a very pretty banishment, I have to say.
Yeah. Okay, so that a Chi-Chi.
Leading a Chi-Chi. Makes sense. Chi-Chi here gets to add whoever. Probably Picari if we don't have it already. And then we can just do some combo plays. How's that sound?
Yeah, you get to play the not.
Yep.
So this is I think this is the most fun part I like about Adagnister. Figuring out like, okay, I have my big guy, but I need to find a way to actually win the game, right?
Yeah.
And usually it's the big guy, but you got to clear the way for him, right? So
Yeah.
that's the interesting part to see how you can do that, especially to the back row.
We are going to go for the Arrival Cyberstatic Mister here. We're going to target the Mirror Jade.
Makes sense. Interesting we did this, tried to pop the Mirror Jade now instead of before a Chi-Chi hit the field.
Looks like they're passing it back too. So that's going to make this branded in red a lot different than it would be otherwise.
I guess it doesn't matter too much if you have the Chi-Chi or not on board. They always have the branded red, so you just have to keep playing until they start actually activating.
Will you lead a Chi-Chi here?
the
Because
back
if you
row.
have a monster on your side of the field, you can't island, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Well, we found the Danmari. That's where it was.
Was that a tribute summon, Danmari?
We have located the Danmari. Okay, this is going to be a disaster for Meep Squared. Now they aren't going to be able to flex a blocker because the Danmari's effect can activate on field.
Wow.
All right, we're even playing blue.
That's huge.
Hiyari Adagnister, it's just a free special. It's a strange one. We're going to tribute the Danmari, of course. Field or graveyard means that we might as well. I imagine we're getting Gachiri here, but Hiyari's one of those cards that's like it's good if you are not confident in your combos. If you're like, at
Right.
some point I might screw something up, and it's nice to just have a backup guy. Hiyari is perfect for that. And for that reason, I like it a lot. I feel like
that's great.
I feel like it comes
especially
up frequently.
tournament settings,
Yeah.
that it's so good to have those contingency plans.
Yeah. Down comes Gachiri. Gachiri, just such an unbelievable card as well.
This card is so... this card is crazy. I love this card. And now you have like so many things to worry about. You have the Dan Mari. You have the now unaffected monster that's made with the Gachiri. It's crazy.
Let's go back to that beautiful, beautiful banishment. Oh.
Hey, I'm back, so this is it. At any point here, I could have super polyed away their Gachiri and their update jammer, but for some reason I thought they would needlessly link into transcode first with Doyon and update just for fun and did not expect them to go into access code directly. The plan here was to use as much of their material as possible and just wall up and win to time. But as you will see, I cannot chain to access code. In the later matches, they would even link away their arrival to make a 8,300 attack access code. So there could have been a timeline where they would have gone to transcode first for an extra 1,000 attack.
Okay, yep. Hello.
All right,
hello again, my old friend.
Threatening lethal. We can go transcode talker, update jammer to the link point, or we don't even have to.
Wow. Yep, so we get to summon back, and this access code is going to be stacked up.
It's going to go just a little brazy.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Okay, Doyon effect here.
I am struggling to think what those 3 sets can be. We know the one is banishment, obviously.
But we know the
what
other is
else?
branded in red as well.
Yeah, but what's the third one?
The third one, I'm imperm, called by maybe, but
You have to imperm the Achichi. You're just not going to get another shot. We're going to make a transcode co-linked. Here's the branded in red.
There is the branded in red.
God, I honestly think you might just let it resolve. Like, how much do you reasonably care about this? You can hold the Danmari for the expulsion.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it says whatever, like make attacks,
whatever,
man,
go
whatever.
for it.
You're going to get
Yeah.
2 600 points. I'm going to go immediately into my game-killing man.
Yeah. And now we get to, because we hold this negate with the Danmari, we only have maybe 1 interaction left.
They get to go probably mask here. You can clear mask with access code. It comes back, but you're still taking 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be Queeritis.
Yep, there it
Yeah,
is.
there he is. Yeah. Double tragedy. What a tragedy, folks.
That's rough. Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. This Gachiri is putting in so much work here.
It's shocking. It's legitimately shocking.
It is crazy. And it's so funny. I always forget that Gachiri is the target is unaffected by your opponent's card effects until the end of your opponent's turn.
What a fun card.
Like, why?
All right, we're doing it.
It's crazy. There he is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, here we
All right,
go.
so we get to go update jammer 1,
jammer.
Gachiri 2, access code 3. That's not bad.
Crazy.
They go expulsion, you go Danmari. It's got to be on the open game state after the access code talker. It has to be a called by followed by a post resolution expulsion. That's the only thing that does it.
Yeah. All right, access code, target update.
But even if you get to resolve expulsion, access just eats it. It doesn't.
Yeah, I'm wondering,
really
like,
doesn't care.
This is like, man, we know the banishment, but that other back row has to be something useful because we can kind of just chew through this Queeritis. It doesn't do anything on our board.
Whatever it is, they're holding Prio here.
This is their only window too.
God, and I'm like, the Aluber not being in grave is such a big deal here. It could have chump blocked.
Yeah. All right. That's it.
I imagine you start chewing through back row.
Yeah, you have to.
Say we'll do Queeritis when
just-
it comes to it. It was super
It was
poly.
super polymerization.
There's no way we never had a good super poly.
Wow.
There's no
That's-
shot.
And that's wow.
I mean, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
That's it. I mean, unless there's some, I can't even think of anything yet because you just target the other back row here. You can just walk over the Coritis. You don't even have to pop it.
Is very true.
Okay, we are going to access code. That is going to trigger the Coritis. I don't even know what we summon here. Doesn't really matter, does it?
No.
In this scenario, like
Fallen
if
of
these
Albaz
two
probably is
towers
the-
weren't on
or not
board,
Fallen
yeah,
of
you'd make
Albaz.
Albaz, but it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, he's just chilling.
Yep,
So it's
battle
okay.
phase.
Got 2 attacks on the access code.
Yep, that's 2 attacks on the access code.
Even in a world where you
10,000 damage
survive
on
this,
board.
you've got, I think, no Albazes left. It's, whoa, it's rough. That was some legitimately extremely heads-up play from I Wish I
Wow.
Was Dead. I was
Oh,
really impressed.
Just incredible. Just
Yep.
amazing. It was the tribute summon on the Dan Mario. I was like, that's huge.
It may be the silliest play we've seen in this tournament yet, but it pays off. I Wish I Was Dead. Clean victory on turn 3 versus Brand.